Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
A big one right out of the gates.
Boom.
Amazon can't complain about the quality of the slate. Here come the Buffalo Bills into Miami. They have to be happy. It's not the middle of a day in September when they get melted on that sideline.
That's true.
The sun sits and bakes them, and the Dolphins are in shade. Everybody's going to be in shade. It's going to be under the lights tonight. Dolphins favorite. Now, Tua Tagovailoa is 1-6 against the Bills all time. Dolphins are favored by 2.5, over-under of 48.5. The Tyreek Hill stuff from Sunday seemed to galvanize the team. Omar Kelly of the Miami Herald was on with me earlier. He said that they were going to arrest those guys, Tyreek Hill and Calais Campbell. They weren't going to play until the Dolphins intervened and they were released. That would have been something on Sunday. But as it stands, the Dolphins trying to make it 2-0, trying to beat the Buffalo Bills and take over first place in the AFC East. Who do you like and why?
Yeah, I do think it brought that team together, right? It's one of those like unintended consequences of a very weird and odd situation that'll rally a locker room together. Mike, the first thing I think of is the first thing you said. Sean McDermott and company have Mike McDaniel and the Miami Dolphins number. There's no doubt about that. He's one of the first people that kind of, let's say, crack the code to a degree on the, Mike McDaniel awesome high-flying offense and has found ways to slow that down. Has done really good, right? I think I saw a stat that something like in the last 3 games they've played, the Dolphins, I think they've only scored like 37, 35 points against the Bills, something like that. Three games combined. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But either way, it's a very real aspect that McDermott has good feel for it, right? The other side of the ball, listen, I think the Dolphins have more talent on their team. It goes back to what we always say and what we always talk about. I like the Bills, you know that, but I still think they miss difference makers. Maybe Gregory Rousseau and Von Miller can really be that on the defensive side of the ball. They looked good last week, right? I just want to see if that can continue. I've seen Rousseau look good early in a season before and then kind of fall off. So with all that and what I'm saying, I'm going to pick the Miami Dolphins. I am. And I'm picking them strictly because, hey, I think the whole tough thing, win tough games, is truly going to be a mantra for them. Yeah, the bringing together of the incident last week, right? The fact that they've lost all these games to the Bills, I think it's going to, put a little chip on their shoulder to prove them wrong there. And I don't think the Bills have enough playmakers when it's all said and done to hang with the Miami Dolphins. That's what worries me. But, of course, Josh Allen and his greatness is the great equalizer, and that scares me on the other side. I'm going to go Dolphins 24-20 here on the Thursday night game.
I actually decided to go with the Bills on this.
You did.
27-23. I'm influenced by Tua's struggles against Buffalo. The one win came 2 years ago, the day he had the back injury.
Right.
Remember that? That was the day Ken Dorsey went bonkos in the press box and threw stuff everywhere. He's no longer the offensive coordinator in Buffalo. It's now Joe Brady, who took over last year and did a good job. For me, what happened on Sunday...
What was the difference for you?
What happened on Sunday, I think it's the kind of thing, and we've seen this before. You have an emotional day, an emotional win, but it takes something out of you.
Yeah, I hear that.
There's a price to be paid on the back end. And it has been a distraction. You've got Tyreek Hill talking about it at length at press conferences. He's doing CNN interviews, NBC Nightly News interviews. Mike McDaniel emotional about it. There's just a lot of stuff that everyone's had to unpack and process
100%.
On a short week. And that becomes a very real distraction. You didn't self-inflict it. It happened. It landed in your laps. You're dealing with it. And I think that makes it harder for the Dolphins to muster the same magic. And the magic almost didn't show up last week.
No.
I give them credit, starting with Javon Holland punching the ball out of Travis Etienne's hands. That is what turned it around for the Dolphins. And the Bills had to do the same kind of thing, a little bit of a magic trick. The Cardinals were up, then the Bills were up, then the Bills tried to blow it. But I just think the traditional mastery of the Dolphins by the Bills in recent years, and you throw that incident on there. Yes, it was fuel on Sunday. By Thursday, the tank might be a little empty. I think it's too much to ask for the Dolphins to be as focused and driven and together. They'll be together, but something's going to be missing, and I think the Bills take advantage of that, 27-23.
All right, it's going to be good. Either way, I think we get a great game tonight. We know that, and there is some studs on the field, and I hear you there. I'm going in the angle of just McDaniels is going to be sick of getting beat by McDermott, and they're going to have something for them different tonight to maybe crack the code. We'll see where it goes, but I think your points are very real and things that I thought about certainly to go over to the Buffalo side. This one's, to me, is a toss-up. It definitely won't be my best bet, and with the 2.5-point spread, that's the clear sign, the shining signal that not even Vegas is quite sure about this game. That's what they always do with that one there.
And this game is critical for the Miami Dolphins. Omar Kelly made that point earlier because if you lose this one at home to the Bills, you have to go there November 3rd. Who knows what the weather will be that day,
right.
Week 9. And if you get swept, you have to make up 3 games elsewhere to overcome the Bills because you're down 2 and they hold the head-to-head tiebreaker if you're tied atop the division when it's all said and done.
Yo, homies, thanks for watching. Yeah, it's time. The NFL season is here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
You can hit subscribe to get all the weekly picks, plus our Sunday recaps as the games are happening.
Oh, you know it. Nobody does that better than us. Thanks again for watching. Remember to subscribe. Peace out. We'll see you next time on Unbuttoned.